Hi, I'm Mark. This is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to bring you guys a review of the Switchbot Outdoor Spotlight Camera. Now, if you've been around on this channel for a while, you'll know that I'm a big fan of Switchbot for a whole variety of reasons. Two of those being that they make really good but also really affordable smart home products. Now, I recently got my hands on the Outdoor Spotlight camera from Switchbot, which is a relatively affordable outside camera costing £90. Now, as with all Switchbot products, if you buy them through their website and you buy more than one, they get cheaper, so the pack of two works out at £85 each. And Switchbot are also really good at having sales quite a lot, which means you basically never need to pay full price. If you want to save 10% straight away, I have got a voucher code below that you guys can use, and that is exclusive to this channel. Now, the other thing you might want to buy at the same time is the optional solar panel for charging this camera. That costs £50, or you can get the pack that includes the camera and the solar panel for £118. I've put links to all of those below. So let's kick off the review and talk about design. So this camera has a nice modern looking rounded ball shaped design. And personally, I really like it, and it does seem like it's set apart from other outdoor cameras. The body itself is white, and then the camera front is black. On the front of the camera, you will find the lens itself, you'll find the lights, and you'll find that kind of motion sensor as well. The base of the camera has a speaker, and then the back has covered ports for charging via USB-C and a memory card slot as well. This takes a micro SD card. And this leads us quite nicely on to talk about spec. Now, as this is an outside camera, it is dust and water resistant as you'd expect. It's also able to work in both hot and cold settings, and Switchbot say it can function from -20°C up to 50°C. This means for most climates it's going to be absolutely fine for you. The camera itself can shoot 1080p HD video, and it has two different night modes, and you can choose which one you want to use in the app. It's got the one with the lights on and the one with the lights off. If you use the lights on mode, your video is colour, and if you use the lights off, it's effectively black and white. That lens also covers a really impressive range. So the diagonal range is 126 degrees, the horizontal 110 degrees, and then the vertical 53 degrees. This means the footage does have a sort of goldfish bowl effect, but only very slightly. This allows it to capture a bigger area. It also has some AI features built in. This allows it to detect whether it's a human, a pet, or just motion in general, and you can choose which of those it responds to in the app. And then of course it also has built-in speakers for setting off alarms, but also for communicating, and it does have a built-in microphone. And then finally, when it comes to battery life, it has a 10,000 mAh battery capacity thanks to 3 batteries inside of it. Now, Switchbot don't commit to how long battery life is because it depends on how busy your area is and what settings you've got on the app. Now, mine has been out in my garden, and based on usage so far, I'd say battery life for me is probably going to be about 2 months. If you're going to put it in a high up position and you don't want to have to worry about charging it all the time, maybe that's where that optional solar panel comes in, because it will just charge itself. It's worth saying I haven't tested that optional solar panel, but it is certainly something to think about when you're buying this product. We should also talk about that micro SD card slot, because that allows it to keep copies of the video that it captures. It can take micro SD cards up to 256GB. There are also some cloud options for storage, and I'll talk about those later on in the review. And then the last thing we should talk about is connectivity, because it has both Bluetooth 4.2 and Wi-Fi built in. This means because it connects via Wi-Fi, you do not need a Switchbot hub for this product. And this also means, unlike some of Switchbot's Bluetooth only products, you can use things like Google Assistant and Amazon Assistant straight out of the box without the need for an additional hub. You can set these up in the Switchbot app. So let's talk about setup. So as with every Switchbot product, setup is really easy. You simply go into the Switchbot app, hit plus, and as long as the device is on, it's pretty much picked up at the top. If not, you can scroll down and find the camera and click that, and that will talk you through the whole setup process. That includes the installation process. And in the box with the camera, Switchbot give you a range of options for fitting this. So it comes with some screws and a screw mounting guide if you want to screw it onto your wall. It also comes with a sticky pad if you want to stick it on somewhere. If you use a sticky pad, there's some tiny little screws to attach the mount to the sticky pad. Once you've got that mount up, the camera simply slots into it. You can swivel the camera around in that mount just to get the right position, and then you're done. And of course, in the app you can set up things like notifications for if someone tries to move the camera. So let's talk about what this camera is like to use. And I've been using this for a few weeks now. And what I want to do with this usage section is I want to split it into 3 sections. I want to talk about the video quality, I want to talk about the notifications, and I want to talk about some of the features of the Switchbot app. So when it comes to video quality, the quality of this camera is really good, and I've actually been really impressed. Whether it's day or night, the video is crisp and clear, and that applies in night mode whether you're using those lights or just the native black and white night mode. All in all, I've actually been really impressed at the quality of this camera, especially for the price. The audio recording from it is fine, but it's certainly nothing to shout home about, and same goes with the communication features. As with most of these cameras, the microphones and speakers are fine, but they're not anything you're going to be using on a regular basis anyway. The alarm feature and the ability to sound that from the app is quite useful, and that's where the built-in microphone on the camera comes in. You can also set it up to automatically sound an alarm when it detects motion, which is a feature I haven't come across on cameras before. And I guess it's a good point to start talking about notifications a little bit more and what you can get out of this device. And when it comes to receiving notifications, you can choose in the app to receive movement notifications. This includes toggles for receiving those notifications for just humans, maybe humans and pets, or everything. In using it, I found that these notifications come through really quickly, but you do not get a thumbnail with it, which means if you want to see what's going on, you need to click through the notification into the app. Generally, with the AI detection, I have found it pretty accurate, although it's certainly better at picking up humans than pets. One thing I have found is that it does mistake things like washing on the line for humans when it's flapping around in the wind. Practically what this means is that it picks up plenty of motion, but that detection certainly isn't as accurate as other products I've used, such as the Eufy cameras. And then finally, there are a lot of other features we should talk about. So as with most smart cameras, the app offers the ability for you to choose which areas the camera responds to. You can do this by dragging an area across within the Switchbot app and the camera options. You can also choose if you want to receive notifications through email or push notifications, or none at all. And then of course you can also set up integrations with Google Assistant and Amazon's Voice Assistant. This means if you've got one of those devices with a screen on it, you can view the feed from your camera. Likewise, within the Switchbot app, you can also tie the camera into other automations. For example, maybe you want to trigger a different Switchbot device when the camera detects motion. This is really nice because you can get the most out of that motion sensor that's built into the camera already. And then the other feature I haven't really talked about is playing back historical video. Now this applies to whether you're accessing the live feed, playing back recorded video, and whether you're on the same Wi-Fi network or whether you're out of home. And there's two ways you can access and record historical data with this device. You can choose to have a cloud subscription plan, or you can choose to put a memory card in it. Now Switchbot's cloud platform costs £5 a month per device, and this gives you 30 days of video storage. You save a bit more money if you go for an annual subscription, and there's also plans that bring it down if you've got multiple devices. If you don't want to pay for cloud storage, you can just put a memory card in the device, which is what I've been doing. Now whether you use cloud storage or the memory card, you can still access that footage away from home, as long as your camera is connected to your home Wi-Fi. The same goes for accessing the live feed. When you click through into the video archive, you also have the option to save that video onto your phone if you want to. Likewise, you can also share it directly from the app. In using this, I've found that loading the pre-recorded video and also the camera feed is generally pretty quick. And as you'd expect, it's quicker when you're on the same network compared to when you're away from home. Now when it comes to those two storage options, I've only used the memory card option because personally I think £5 a month for a device is quite pricey. And actually I think if you've got a memory card, for most users that's all you're going to need. The only real reason you might want to go for the cloud storage is if perhaps you're worried about someone stealing the camera, because of course a memory card is part of that camera. So all in all, what's the verdict on the Switchbot Outdoor Camera? Now this is the first Switchbot camera I've used, and at a relatively affordable price I think you actually get a lot for your money. The camera's got a really nice looking design, and it also records really good quality video. And of course it's accompanied by the Switchbot app, which is a really good, easy to use app already. It's also really nice if it's got built-in Wi-Fi, so there's no need for an additional hub. The only extra thing you might want to buy is either a memory card or cloud storage. For me, there are only two downsides to this device, and these are me being really picky. So one of those, as you've guessed throughout this video, is just the price of that cloud storage. I'm personally someone who, once I buy a device, I don't like paying extra subscriptions. It's the reason I use things like Eufy for my video doorbell rather than Amazon's Ring. Secondly, and this is a much more niche criticism, or rather something just to note, if you're an advanced user who uses something like a Raspberry Pi and Homebridge in order to access your non-HomeKit compatible devices in Apple's Home app, then it's worth noting that the Switchbot camera is not one of those devices that is compatible. This is a shame because basically all of Switchbot's other devices do work with the Homebridge plugin. However, I suspect this is something to do with the way Apple processes secure video. That's just something to note if you're an advanced user, but it's not going to affect most people. Overall, however, I don't think this is a purchase you'll be disappointed with if you do pick one up. If you do want to pick one up, I've put a link below to it on both Amazon and Switchbot's official website. And if you follow my link and go to Switchbot's website, there is also a voucher code you can use that will save you 10% on your order. If you've got any questions, do stick them below and I will answer those questions for you guys. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys again soon.